One, two, three, four.
Welcome back, everyone, to Breakfast with Brothers.
What's up, people? Happy to see you. Happy to hear from you. What's going on? Hopefully everyone's been chilling. Hopefully the breakfast vibes have been rocking. Ian, we have some wonderful people with you today. How about you put them on? Let them introduce themselves.
Yeah, so I got my two best friends here. Let them introduce themselves. So we'll start with this fellow over here.
Hey, my name is Luis.
Hello, my name is Morgan.
So
That's it.
yeah, that's it. That's all you
Pretty
guys
much
got.
it.
Right?
Next episode.
All right.
Tell the people what's
Hey,
up,
guys.
like where you grew up, what you're doing now, and your favorite color. Go.
All right. So I grew up in Liberty, New York. I was originally born in Staten Island. I know it's not a cool fact, but it's all right.
Boo.
One of the best hoods out there. But met Ian in what grade was it? It was like
We met in middle school, so probably
middle
like
school, probably fifth, sixth grade.
I would think around
Yeah.
there. I don't really have like
No.
a specific time frame,
No, it
but
was
we met
just
at some
weird.
point.
Yeah.
But we were both pretty quiet at that
Yeah, we
time,
were.
anyways.
But yeah, so we went to college together. We were roommates.
Roommates for 4 years in Fredonia.
And then graduated. Now we're here. I'm an accountant right now, and working for the Big Cheese.
Big
The
cheese.
Big Cheese.
Wait, you didn't. What's your favorite color?
Oh, my favorite color is red.
Nice. Thank you.
So I was born in Middletown, I think, but I grew up for 4 years in Berryville, and then I came to Liberty right before I started elementary, and we met in elementary.
Yep.
Like, we were friends for a while, and then middle school, we just, like, our whole grade kind of went like this, with, like, a bunch of sects. They're, like, offshoots of people. And then in like senior year, me and Ian were like, "Oh, you're a cool guy." And then
I would say like junior, senior year, we
yeah,
kind of
like right at the end of junior. You're right.
we merged together. We were like, "Yo, why aren't we friends?"
Yeah.
like we used to be.
Like I've seen in SpongeBob.
We kind of had a friend group going, and
But
it's
we're
stuck
close.
basically since high school, or like an inner circle. I work at a racetrack, the Monticello Motor Club, and I like cars a lot, as you can see. And go Astros, boo Yankees. And my favorite color is red, blue, gold, black.
All right. Well, no one cares. So anyway, moving on. No, but seriously, it's okay. We'll put our baseball differences aside, and maybe we'll give you some good content today. What are we talking about today, Ian? What are we putting the people onto?
So Lewis gave some great topics, and Morgan was willing to go along with it. So he brought about end of world scenarios. So I feel like it's pretty fitting for what we've been talking about as of recently with all our conspiracy theories. And so the three topics we kind of want to think about and gauge is war, natural disasters, and aliens. Now, of course, we can kind of diverge from these three or think of other ones that would be just as crazy. We're kind of channeling our inner Frank DeGroat with the what if scenarios. Like
Yeah.
the crazy one he'd always used to bring up is like like what if Batman and Superman just came out of the sky or something and just started fighting right in front of us.
That man would be like asleep and just wake up. What if? It's crazy.
So shout out Frank DeGroat if he's listening out there.
But yeah, I guess if we're gonna start anywhere, let's do aliens, because that was a big topic of ours when we were talking about Area 51. This would be like the perfect segue, and we could bring people in quick, because we were just talking about the existence. We weren't talking about the potential that it could end Earth, But that's a cool twist.
Oh yeah. So let's start with aliens. Louis, I mean, since it was your topic, you have any thoughts on aliens?
Aliens?
Yeah, like end of world scenario. Like, what do you think would happen?
I feel since we've probably sent out hundreds of signals out there, like hey, we're here. Find
Yeah,
us,
yeah,
you know?
like, yeah, come chill, you know.
Come. But there has to be life out there, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
someone's gotta be like, let's go there and kill him. Let's just go.
Let's just blow up the earth.
Yeah, like a Marvel scenario, just a big ship with a purple guy coming in.
Oh yeah, like Thanos
Yeah.
like type scenario. Yeah, I mean like it's definitely possible. It can't not be possible. You know what I mean? It's just like big purple dude coming to absolutely wreak havoc, blow up the earth, kill people, whatever it might be. Send like a missile or a laser through Earth. You know what I think about too is like Star Wars level stuff, where like they got the whatchamacallit, the Death Star with the planetary laser.
That's our ISS. That's our next attachment. We're gonna put a laser on the International Space Station.
Dude, that would be sweet.
We're gonna blow up Mercury.
We might have to. I mean, that would be like the next level of defense. I mean, if we're thinking about aliens that are going to try to attack us, I mean, we're going to have to get a Death Star. That's inevitable.
Yeah, I was gonna say someone's got to be in control of that. You know.
Or we just turn off all the lights on Earth and then you just go to Mercury.
Yeah, no, I guess nobody's home. I guess we'll move on.
Whole armada leaves the galaxy. We're out of here, dude.
Oh,
All
they're
right,
gone.
dude. No one's home. You
There we
know.
go.
Well, Lewis, this is like the perfect question for you. If like in your mind, the people that are aliens that would destroy us is like a dictator and his band of, I don't know, I guess we'll call them like goblins
Aliens?
and monsters and stuff like that, whatever the heck they could be. Is that the best scenario? Like we're just thinking of this dude who rules over this entire alien army and that's what's going to end us? Or is it like, in this case, if there's this, big Thanos type character, is he going to be the dude doing it alone? Like, is he going to have an Infinity Gauntlet? Is he going to have like the Hammer of Justice? Like from Halo or something like that? Something crazy?
I don't know. I was just thinking like more like a different civilization coming, you know?
So like, yeah, I guess you're asking like what kind of weapon he's gonna be wielding, right?
Like, I'm more wondering if the people that are going to come and get us are going to be brute force, because like the other scenario is they're going to try to move here, blend in, and take us over from the inside. That's my thought of world-ending alien vibes.
I have to agree with that.
So you're
That
you're-
is the smartest.
so you're considering like what we were talking about with like the lizard people, right?
Yeah, exactly. They're
You know, what kind-
infiltrating. They're wiggling their way in.
Yeah.
You just morph.
Well, that kind of goes hand in hand with like the theory that I've heard from like Joe Rogan and other podcasts. But like blending in, yes, but I feel like that would come from like a different alien civilization that hasn't like known about us or made contact with us. Because
Yeah.
the biggest theory is like I don't know the name of it, but I've heard it through other means and other podcasts and stuff. But like these whatever aliens like enslaved us and like we weren't sentient yet, but for some reason we were able to eat these like mushrooms that gave us sentience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you talking.
And then
about this.
the aliens were like, oh man, like they got sentience, like we can't have them be our slaves anymore. I think that was for gold, believe it or not. But again, I'm trying to remember the whole theory, but they're like, yo, they have sentience, like we can't mess with them and enslave them anymore. So they just like left us and kind of taught us how to live and like have just been watching us the whole time. And that's why there's been sightings and all this other stuff, but like there's never really interactions, or at least ones that we hear about that, major governments want us to hear, or
So like
etc.
similar to like the Anunnaki,
Yes.
like the sky people,
Yes.
or is that who you're like
That
mentioning?
or like, and then you always hear like when people do like DMT and they see like the creators and all this stuff, it's like
Oh,
a
yeah.
different dimension.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's dimensional travelers that like know about us and like are in contact with our government or whatnot, like what Alex Jones always talks about, just stuff like that.
Alex
The
Jones.
stuff Alex Jones seems to talk about sometimes stems into other people's like stories and like stuff they've seen or firsthand accounts from being in government and what they've heard and etc. But again, it's all word of mouth. It's not, you can't film a demon or
No, I was just saying.
Right,
I mean,
right.
You think about like the DMT trips that people take, and like I don't know if anyone's familiar with like the Tool album covers, But they kind of depict a lot of the DMT like faces that you get when you're tripping on DMT. So a lot of the time it's like multiple like statuesque faces of like these what people describe as either interdimensional beings or like gods of sorts.
Yeah.
Um,
Creators or yeah.
yeah. So it's a lot of that. I'm sure that has sparked a lot of these concepts or ideas of like interdimensional beings of sorts.
And not to go off on another topic, but like religions and all this stuff that you look at through ancient civilizations that they all relate that they worship the sun and they worship, different types of nature and water. And it's just interesting that like if you look through all of them, they kind of like have similarities and like have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of all, they have different names, but like, the best example is like Greek and Roman mythology. Like it's not the same, but technically it's the same because like they're just counterparts. Like
it's also similar
There's
with
a lot
like
of overlapping.
right,
yeah.
but then you start to do that with other ancient gods like Egypt and
I was gonna say
Mesopotamia and all that shit, and you're like, well, it's interesting that they all have depictions of like a cat-like god or like stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
Big heads.
Well,
Like
especially with like Egyptian mythology.
Not specifically to do the cat, but like when they have like different, they're like bipedal, figures, but like they share weird similarities of like trunks or like different weird animal characteristics or like smooth skin or like alien features.
Yeah.
And it's like always like a huge figure, like teaching all these like on like for instance Egypt hieroglyphics like are showing or getting taught by gods like how to farm and how to shit like that.
Yeah. I got you. I see where you're going with it.
I think to move back to your point, Morgan, about the people who are more overseers, like the aliens who are kind of like watching in the background, seeing what's going on, I think that's the most likely scenario of aliens being a part of our downfall. Because if it were up to them and they were here and then they wanted nothing to do with us, they're probably in the sky just letting us, live our own demise. They're just like, they'll do it themselves. They could figure it all out. They can definitely end the world on their own terms, and that's more than likely that will happen. We'll get to a point where it's like that Wall-E scenario where we've depleted the Earth's resources and we have to either move to another planet or come up with like a solar system spaceship, something that we can just live in outside of any I guess we'll call it a terrestrial existence, something like Earth, something like Mars, etc.
Right.
But that's only to say if the aliens are that intelligent. We assume that alien life forms are more intelligent than us. That's what we've always assumed. At least, I'd like to think that's the familiarity that everyone knows. But what if they are just like us? They know no more than we can. Basic physics, calculus, history, in the long term, whatever that looks like. They've, we'll say in this scenario, evolved with us. If that is the case, then I still think about the idea that they blend in with us. I like Lewis's idea that they'd come in with brute force and just wipe us out, way more, technologically advanced or way more physically advanced, whatever that looks like. I would love for that to be the case, because then it could just be like, oh yeah, we'll throw a bomb, get rid of Earth, be done with it. But of course, I think aliens, the way that we've like perceived them, are sneaky. They're cunning. They got plans for us.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
And then I'll shut up for a minute. To piggyback off of like what Lewis was saying, like we have nukes and stuff. I feel like, and again, not to repeat what Joe Rogan says, but he always says like we're probably the mass majority of people aren't alien believers, and because like our governments and everything else tend to paint that as sci-fi and whatnot because they're covering it up and Tom DeLonge and all this stuff. But we do have nukes, and we are kind of dumb monkeys at the end of the day. So like, I feel like the aliens are just kind of watching and waiting and seeing what happens, and like after a certain time of us not destroying each other with massive nukes that they have to know about, because there's tons of accounts of UFOs like hovering over nuclear like silos, like where the missiles are kept and whatnot, and just shutting them bitches off for a while. And then they like take off.
You're just trolling.
But I think that's probably why, is because they're just they don't trust us, and they're probably just watching from afar, waiting to see, like, okay, now they can, unless we're just a reality show for them and they just laugh at us. But like you said, maybe they aren't smarter than us, but usually like sci-fi and whatnot depicts them as these small little figures with like huge heads and brains and huge eyes. And evolution tends to tell us that happen, or that can happen to humans and stuff over time when they don't need as much
Or whatever, like nutrients.
wilderness and
Yeah.
like us living in houses and having
Sure.
we don't have to scrounge for food. Hunter gatherers, over time evolution's gonna cater to that and make us smaller. And
Well, it's just like the basic thing, like right now, is like, we don't need wisdom teeth anymore.
No.
We don't need to be able to like
Right. You don't-
chew or like, kind of really cut up.
you don't need two kidneys,
Right.
really, but like
I mean, I would prefer to have two kidneys.
right, exactly. But stuff, and you can kind of see it with almost our school year was like our grade. I mean, like if you looked at grades prior, like remember all the prior classmates were like just tall as hell.
Yeah.
Like everybody was like, all the dudes, at least the football dudes were like 6 foot something. Like
Yeah.
in high school, like
Freshmen,
our class was like
normal 5 foot.
maybe
7,
somebody was
5
breaking
foot
6
10.
foot, 2 or 3, maybe. Like
Yeah, same with Zach's class. Like you had like, Grant and Caleb and Andrew for that matter were just like
Yeah.
really tall, and everyone else was mainly normal height, or you had a couple other people that were just as tall, but that was really it,
right. But even like with our grade and then everybody below us too, not that we were, also maturing and whatnot, but I feel like everybody who's come out so far hasn't really been far from our height.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like compared to other years from Liberty where people were just 6 foot something coming out graduating, and then we were like 5, 5'5", 5'6", 5'7", 5'8", like
Yeah. But
That's how we're
to
gonna
come-
beat the end of the world. We're gonna grow till we're 60 feet tall, 8 inches, and we'll live in the air, dude. We'll beat everything. The bombs
we're
can't
just
even
gonna
reach.
become titans.
68. No, I was thinking about like from Rick and Morty, the show me what you got.
I would rather us put up a worldly competition and lose fairly. Definitely, 100%, 100%.
lose fairly and get blasted.
Yeah.
But
Well,
we
at
barely-
least we know we're gonna get vaporized. Like it'll be quick death, no pain. But like if we win,
Yeah, if we win, sweet.
You guys lost. Well, I guess we're dying.
you don't get a time to react. You just know you lost. Someone else is gonna go to the winner's circle. That's it. Exactly that. No chance.
Well, that's it.
It's not. If Zach's talking like that, it would probably more be like, that's it. You don't even get a breath because all the air has been vaporized. All the air in the atmosphere just got vaporized from the bomb, so you just go. That's it.
That's your last breath, right?
Oh. And you float, and then if you don't die from the heat, you just float off into space like Princess Leia did.
Freeze to death.
No.
All right. So I think we've exhausted the alien encounter. Why don't we move to what was it? War?
Let's go war.
You want to do war?
Let's do war.
All right.
War
So-
never changes.
War never does.
What do you got? What do you got to start us off for war?
War. Just for example, me. I am.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. No, but in all seriousness, our bombs, our nukes, we
Yeah.
have so many, just one button.
That's all it takes.
It's all it takes. We've heard it. Yeah, one button, it's over. Yeah. But that, I don't know how to explain it.
No, that could be it. That could be the
that
end
could
right
just be
there.
it. And I've heard a story where some guy in Russia, in the nuclear plant, with a donut and a coffee, saw, oh, America's attacking. He was about to press it, but he had a gun. It was maybe not, So he didn't press it. And his gut was right. The United States didn't attack. It was just a glitch, and I think it was just I don't know how the story goes, but it was a glitch. And if he launched his nuclear bombs, it would have gone a full on war.
Yeah.
It was something like that. Something like that. It's close enough.
No,
But,
that's crazy,
Speaking
yeah.
of that specific scenario, like, do you remember when we watched Doctor Strangelove in Riscos? It was about the British guy who was at the American military base, and then this general literally like cut off all communication to this base, and had his men like, if anybody comes in, like the Russians are invading, shoot anybody that tries to come in. So it's literally our military trying to get in the base to be like, yo, stop, because he armed a B-52 with a nuke, and he's telling him go drop it on Soviet Union, and there's no communication outside
Oh man.
of the general and that plane. And one of my favorite movies, but basically it ends just like that. Like the general literally just decided like that this is it. Like can't have this anymore in the 50s, and just fucking sorry. told his men like, yo, shoot anybody because all the Russians are invading. They're wearing our uniforms. Like you can't trust anybody. Like so, it's just Americans shooting Americans, and there's so much confusion that they can't even get to the communications to get to the. They tell the B-52 like, hey, turn around, don't drop that bomb.
Jeez.
And then they do, and then literally just all the nukes go off, and that's it.
That sounds like a
And,
sick
like,
movie, though. What did
It
you
is
say
a
it
great
was?
movie. It's a
Let the
comedy,
viewers know.
actually.
What's it called?
It's How I Learned, or it's Doctor Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Atomic Bomb, I believe is the full name. I have a VHS copy on my nightstand from Risco.
That's sweet. That sounds pretty cool.
No
That's
way.
So-
The old school VHS.
It's not a
Sick.
very long movie. It's black and white, but it's a comedy. It's a Stanley Kubrick film.
cool. Oh, nice.
It's really good. I recommend everyone watch it.
I don't remember.
It has a lot of dark humor. There's a like not the stories, but like there's actual accounts and like facts that like the United States brought Nazi Germany scientists over to work for like the rocket programs for NASA and whatnot. But in the movie, there's a Nazi German scientist who is in a wheelchair, and he like can't control his one hand. I don't remember which hand it was. It was the hand that they heil with. So throughout the whole movie, he's on the American side, but the hand is not. So like he'll literally be talking, and like he's fighting the hand to not like heil. And towards the end of the movie too, there's like literally a whole fight scene between him and his hand. He's like and like fighting his hand off because his hand is still German and like still for the Nazi cause. You gotta watch it. Good movie.
Thank God my hand isn't German. Ron.
It's a great movie.
Man. But back to
Yes,
the bomb.
Yeah, go ahead. Continue.
It doesn't even have to be like a nuclear bomb. Just people just attacking. Maybe we have a treaty like don't attack with bombs. Be friendly. Use guns and tanks.
Be friendly.
And other uses of
And then just stuff like
Vaccine
that. It can like, let's say for example, we throw a bomb by accident in a volcano.
Why would we do that?
It's gonna start like a whole volcano reaction. Like let's say we just throw into the Yellowstone supervolcano. We're done.
why?
Done.
Yeah, like what? Why would that be a possibility? Just
Well, why would that end
just
us
some-
too? Wouldn't they just blow up the volcano?
Well, a volcano like when it gets disturbed, it just starts erupting.
I was
Right.
gonna say like
Well, that one volcano would just erupt, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Would that be
Yeah,
enough to end the world, though?
Yeah,
But
but
think
I'm
about it.
saying that's not a world-ending event. Though.
Well, think about a nuclear.
It's a bomb, sure,
A nuclear
but
bomb too.
Think about a nuclear bomb going into the volcano, though. He's saying it's like a what if scenario. Like, what if that were to happen?
yeah, now because we make nukes that literally they're like, oh, it'll blow. This one nuke blows up the world 10 times over. Like, yeah, of course it's gonna fucking blow up the world if you throw it in a volcano because it's gonna blow up the world regardless.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
Or
mean,
just
yeah,
a volcano.
if you took a Hiroshima type bomb, like a World War II hydrogen nuclear bomb of that size, and like maybe it would be a little bigger in a volcano. I don't know. You'd have to get
Well,
the correct person to ask would be Gavi for this scenario.
Call her up.
Well, I just think in like the scenario of like, hey yo, Gabby. I just think in like the scenario of like the volcano. like if the Yellowstone volcano did erupt, like the I guess like the cause of like the whole thing like would actually end up like creating a whole crevice.
Zach, is that too
across-
loud?
Hello?
No, I could
Yo.
like the ringing is perfectly faint.
Can you hear her?
Yeah,
Can you hear her?
Hello?
yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. We had a question real quick, and then I'm gonna hang up because we're in the middle of the podcast.
So for everyone out there, this is Gabby, our other best friend. She's on the line with us right now. She's going to be helping us with the volcano.
So if you were,
Okay, if it's about volcanoes, I'll talk about volcanoes. I was concerned where this was going.
so the question is, if you were to drop a bomb of some sort in a volcano, would that make it bigger, or would that disrupt like, Earth's magma, or like, what would it, if you dropped a bomb in a volcano? Because this
Nuclear
is
level
Lewis'
bomb.
hypothetical.
Good lord. Okay, what a choice. Depends if it's an active or an inactive volcano.
Hmm.
If it's an active volcano, there's a chance that once you remove the pressure cap, think of Mount St. Helens. So Mount St. Helens was caused by a landslide because a bunch of mass was removed from the magma chamber.
Hmm.
So because that mass was released, it resulted in an eruption. So if it's an active volcano, you might potentially cause an eruption depending on the volume of magma underneath that body, or B, you'll just drop a bomb on a mountain because it's dormant. It's not really going to do anything except for maybe cause an earthquake and maybe a bunch of like other smaller earthquakes, but nothing, outside of a volcanic eruption, which depending on the kind of volcano could result in a whole bunch of different problems.
So
But
you
it's
guys
not
heard it here
world
first.
ending then.
I
Is that what you're
figured.
saying?
What was that, Zach?
It's not world ending then? Is that what I'm pulling away from this?
I mean, do you want to drop it on a stratovolcano, a super volcano? I don't.
Yellowstone.
Well, like,
Maybe.
Okay, so if you want me to go on a Yellowstone rant, I'll talk about Yellowstone.
Yeah, go.
But I don't think y'all have time for that.
Great show, by the
Okay,
way.
so if you were to drop a bomb on one of those, like, would it make it bigger? Or more specifically, Lewis wanted to drop a nuke in one. So, do you know, as a professional, if you were to drop a nuke in a volcano, would it make it bigger?
Would it make the volcano bigger? No.
Or, like, would it help the explosion? Or I don't even...
Okay, so the way volcanoes work is that there needs to be some kind of heat vent and connection to the crust below it. Hold on. My brother's trying to call me and I hate him. Okay. Maybe that's the voicemail.
Yeah.
That's
First.
recorded and on the podcast.
It's on the
now.
podcast now.
Shout out John. Nobody likes him.
Flip that chat.
Clip it.
So the way that volcanoes work is that you need some kind of heat. There needs to be some kind of connection to the liquid part of the earth through the crust. So a nuke would not blast a hole in the crust. Because it wouldn't explode that deep.
Got it. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
Well, thank you, Gabby, for your expert knowledge. We appreciate you having a little excerpt on the podcast right now. For everyone out there, Gabby's an expert, a geologist.
He's a big rock person.
Big rock person. Big rock.
Love
Big
crystals.
She loves crystals. Crystal rocks.
If you associate me with crystal people, I'm going to have to harm all of
Big
you.
Crystal. She's Mrs. Crystal123 on Instagram. Okay, love you. Bye. Say bye to the people.
Love you too. Bye, Jesus. Bye.
Everyone just found out Gabby loves crystal meth. You heard it here, folks. Crystal meth.
So yeah, so
There you go.
So there we go.
now we figured out what would happen if we
So
dropped the bomb in the
it
middle
won't
of.
work.
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
So
Alright.
it wouldn't work. Volcano nuke would not end the world. Now we know that war can't do it entirely. It would have to be a collection of nukes, if anything.
3. No.
3?
Three. I think it'd be like 3 dozen. If you triangulate a little bit of this, a little bit of that, drop the nukes in a pattern that could completely cover the entire Earth's surface, you'd wipe out everybody. All what is it up to? Like 8.5 billion people in the world now.
Really? Wow.
Man, we're big.
Well, I always
Having children.
I always think about that like one picture where it was like, it has like a picture from outer space of like a meteor or something striking through Earth,
Oh yeah.
and it always says like, "What would you do?" And always the top comment is like, "Well, I don't know, probably just die."
You don't have a choice. You don't get to say be like, yeah, I'm gonna go, kiss my kids for the last time. You're not even gonna be able to reach the living room fast enough to turn on the television, let alone kiss your kids goodbye. Like, come on.
Yeah, like,
Plus, if one goes through the Earth, wouldn't that like rip our atmosphere apart too, and like kill our core? And
yeah, it would.
it would just wipe everybody out. It wouldn't
It would
even
just
just
kill
hurt
us.
like the two holes that it goes in and out. Like,
It's true.
It's
true.
like the.
I love you. Oh.
It's like from Black Ops 2, like you have like the zombies map and everything, and you have like the chunk of it like taken out of Earth. That's basically probably what would happen. Like if we nuked like one portion of like Earth, but I don't think it would then continue to survive as it was. I think Morgan's right.
It depends on how big the nuke is, and it depends on like how much damage it causes. Like, if you can see it,
I was gonna say, hear me out. They put a nuke inside of a meteor. Then there you go. War ends. War ends the Earth. Boom. I think if there was a bunch of senseless shooting and killing and stabbing and murdering, we would just repopulate. Like people would be able to, duck back and do their living for a little bit. I don't think it would be constant war enough to end the world, but definitely a nuke meteor that would end the world for sure. 100% chance.
I feel like if you're talking about modern day nukes, like again, we're all talking about nukes, like Hiroshima, like Nagasaki, and that's the only two as a used on human beings. Like that's not the tested ones; those aren't the hydrogen bombs they used in like the islands and shit. The quote Godzilla ones that they always like use for the movies, but
Right.
those are actual like they did test hydrogen bombs and stuff. I think I called the atomic bomb a hydrogen bomb before, and I don't think it is when they actually used it on Japan. I don't remember, but anyway,
It's okay.
Like,
we'll have all the smart people getting on and roasting Morgan.
right.
At the end of this
I hope somebody does, but again,
Yeah,
like
by no means we're not
the
professionals.
original ones, there was like like 2 or 3 different ones that they were achieving it, but again, those were the first ones, and they were like only city wiper outers, like not today when they're literally like, yeah, if we set up one nuke, it'll like blow up the world 3 times over or whatever.
It'll blow up the
but also
tri-state
you also
area.
have to think about like
Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
if you did set off a nuke, right? There's all these systems and stuff in place around the world. It's not just the United States. Like the United States has a lot, don't get me wrong, but it's the other countries that literally, if one is fired off, everything else is getting fired off too, or anti-air is getting fired off on top of, anti-air is firing at that nuke, we're going to just fire another one, like to direct fire and still hit our target.
Sure.
Right.
So if one of them goes off, like, and it's real, like, I don't know what to say. Like, if you use a modern day nuke on anything, period, it would probably do horrible damage to the Earth. A more modern one, not 50s and 60s and 40s and.
Yeah, those are weak. We have big ones.
Well, I think in this case, definitely the nuke and the war vibe would be much more violent and more possibly of world ending than the alien scenario. Like, I know aliens could be painted in a bunch of different pictures of how they could do it. But war, I think it needs a very specific way for it to happen, for the world to end. There's a lot of ways you can go about war where we'd probably be fine. It would be similar to like, what happens in Afghanistan, like every year, people going and fighting over there over, nonsensical things that don't make any sense. But they've been doing it for years and they're going to keep doing it and the world's not going to end. So every time I think about that, I just think of that on a big scale, and it still probably wouldn't take us out. It would 100% take some nukes and again, I'll go back to the Nuke Meteor, 100%. That's where I'll rest my case. Lewis, I want to hear how you have to end it all, though.
What?
Is it going to take nukes? What's the war vibe? Like, what's the war end of the world scenario that would take it?
It will have to take a specific amount of nukes.
I feel like it's not aliens. I feel like Zach said, I'm a lot more afraid of humans and our nature of, because not that we are I think we are smart enough, but also I disagree with that because if you go back to like World War One, World War One kicked
You're
off
right.
literally because one dude got blapped in the head at a parade, Otto von Bismarck, and then all of a sudden every country was like, "Fuck you, no fuck you, I'm killing." No, like it literally started World War One. Like the United States stepped in to be like, "Okay, like we're gonna knock it off, everyone. Like we gotta stop this."
Yeah, total trench warfare.
Guys,
Like we weren't even. What did we get involved World War One for? It was like just the almost end. I don't even remember, but United States was like, "We're in here now," and then they were like, "We're out. We're done."
was
There was something
United
that got involved with like the Zimmerman telegram when we intercepted it, and then we were like, "Whoa, they're like talking heat. I guess we got to step in there and show them what's up." And then things escalated.
Right, but versus literally, I don't remember the actual time gap of World War One to World War Two, but like World War Two, we're like, we're gonna stay neutral, we're gonna stay neutral, we're gonna stay neutral for like years, and then all of a sudden the Japanese are like, flies a plane right into a boat, and we're like, yo, all right, everybody's going down tonight.
Night.
That's it. We're going.
And then we stopped the European front, or well, we stepped in and helped stop, the European side of the theater, and then we were like, all right, that's done, so let's go stop Japan. We dropped 2 nukes, and they're like, okay, please stop, and we're like, all right, bet.
All right, bet.
I
Well,
bet.
we dropped one, and we were like, okay, do you want to surrender? And they were like, nah. And then we are like, all right, we're gonna do another one if you don't surrender. So we did it because they thought we were fronting, and then we were like, we have a third one, and we're gonna drop another one if you don't surrender. Which we didn't at the time. We didn't have any more in stock. Like the second one we dropped in Nagasaki, we literally like it's proven that we lied. We were like, we have another one. We'll fucking drop it right now. And we had nothing. We had literally like no test ones, no nothing. We were like all the scientists were like, we have no bombs. Like what? So and then Japan was like, nah, we're done, dude. Well, white flag.
Oh, yeah, they put up a front, just to act like
Right.
if you want to mess around again, like, we're going to come at you just as hard.
But also, like Zach said, like people, I guess, are smarter now because the Emperor. They always talked about, oh, Japan never surrenders. Japan never surrenders, and then Emperor Hirohito is the first one to be like, "We're done." Anime and cars and yeah,
That's
Anime
what
and cars.
maids and cats.
Yeah, they
and
switched up very fast.
ramen and
But yeah, so that's the war front. War never changes.
Certainly does not. But I think what was the other one? Natural disasters, right?
natural. Yeah.
Natural disasters.
Well, we kind of blew it talking about volcanoes early on, but I guess in that sense, it was a nuke volcano. Very different.
That was
It's a different story. It's a different
Very
story.
That had a nuke.
that was supposed to be the original transfer.
That's okay.
Honestly, I think one big earthquake could take everybody out. Just like, not just one branching earthquake, but one that like splits all over the world and it just starts engulfing oceans and cities and people's homes and mountains. That would be insane. It would just fall into the center of the earth as it collapses.
2012.
2012.
Yeah, 2012. Yeah, Luce, send us off. What do you got? What do you think?
I mean, yeah, earthquakes are kind of crazy. Like, look at California. That whole right side. What's it called? What's the trench called?
The something fault.
San Andreas Fault.
Yes.
That whole thing could just like GTA could just open up. Like you seen the Rock in that movie, San Andreas?
Yep.
Just like that.
Just like
Dude, just like that.
Just
The
like
rock's
that.
gonna be going crazy like that.
Drives a boat in the San Francisco Bay.
It's definitely gonna happen. It's gonna play out just like that.
Oh my God, tsunami! We gotta go. But no, earthquakes are kind of scary because they also like trigger tsunamis, and that tsunami just goes. Well, Tokyo, here we go.
Yeah. No, I mean it's facts.
that's
though.
true.
I mean that's how most
Yeah.
tsunamis start. Through an underwater earthquake, or the the tectonic plate shift. Still an earthquake,
Yeah.
but underwater, and then it just sends a massive wave onto whatever island and land mass that's come in its direction. I mean, after that, it's just whatever happens.
Or just imagine like how Pangea was. We were all just there.
Shout
The
out
original
Pangea. Shout out Pangea.
Earth number one.
Shout out Pangea.
But then it just like, what if like tomorrow it just moves again?
Yeah,
Go
like,
back to Pangea.
But it doesn't move like that. It
No, I
takes
know.
millions
It
of
takes millions of years, but
But it will come
like, what
back.
if?
but
We did
But what if?
in school. We're told that it will come back like together, but it'll be like not as nice as Pangea was fitted together. Like it'll come back the other way on the other side. It'll be like,
Well, yeah, think like
collide.
any islands or anything in the way will just kind of
Yeah.
be pushed
Yeah.
pushed inwards.
So
either
what you're saying
crushed.
is it'll be like a make Pangea great again type thing. We're gonna have like a
Type
whole
beat,
political
yeah.
campaign.
Exactly.
to,
I
like,
mean, I
run
don't know if we'll
Pangea
make
too.
it with the sun and all, but the sun might explode before all that.
We'll just put some live streams on before we go.
Yeah, we're gonna be dead before any of that. But
Yo, check it out, guys. Yeah, we got Pangea happening right now.
follow me live on Twitch.tv. I'm out here filming Pangea. I'm the first hand reporter. I'm a first hand reporter here out here about Pangea. A guy with a fucking gimbal, and it's like just lava rivers forming together.
Yeah, all you hear is
Forming
like,
right now. We're almost done. Pangea in 10, 9. Need a few more donators. To get this Pangea going. 8.
yeah, let me get some more roses in there. Let me get some more roses.
Why is no one
Need
donating?
a few more galaxies. I need more bullets. I need more bullets.
He does paintings now, I think.
I need more bullets.
I
guys.
thought it was back to bullets.
Oh, is I don't know.
I don't
saw him
know.
doing paintings.
You might be right. I
It's
haven't
like
seen
painting
it for a
but
while.
never mind.
I've had to get
Go
off
back.
TikTok because it's the last few times I've been on it. It's been straight mind rot. But
Yo, Zach, have you heard of the I need more bullets guy
No,
on TikTok?
no.
So there's this.
Man, you'll love it.
You're just gonna have to look him up, and for anyone else out there, look him up, please. It'll be a nice, pleasant surprise. That's all. It's I need more bullets. Just look it up.
don't look it up. If
I'll
you're
look
a
it
small
up.
child,
TikTok,
don't
got
look
it.
up.
Need more bullets.
If you're under 18, don't look it up.
It's all right.
But-
We put our whatever Ian does for like sensitive content after we post and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, good.
So
Yeah,
all
we
those
always do, like,
children out there
explicit.
know that they're about to hear a couple curse words and some bad things.
Raw and uncensored.
Raw and uncut. Like a hot dog in a hurricane.
Speaking of which, let's talk about hurricanes for natural disasters.
Oh man.
We'd have to have like a
you know.
Cat 10 to end the world, dude. I don't think any serious
Category
hurricanes
10.
are ending the world right now, but it'd have to be something super serious.
I mean, yeah, you're probably right because while like hurricanes do a lot of damage, I said doo-doo. They do a lot of damage to begin with. Obviously, they cause flooding. Depending on the winds that come in, they could take down pretty much any building. Depending, of course, like mainly houses and such. A lot of it's just from the storm itself and the high winds. So yeah, it would probably have to be pretty dramatic for it to be world ending. So I think you're right on that. It has to be like a category 10, which is just completely off the scale. But so if hurricanes can't really do it, and we've just settled that, what about like tornadoes?
Tornado for sure. If there was like a group of like 25 tornadoes, I think it could spin the Earth into a whole different galaxy.
Just changes the Earth's
I
rotation.
think we just go back in time.
The winds are so fast, it just changes.
Oh, you mean like Dorothy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we ain't in Kansas anymore.
Yep.
Okay.
Type beat.
Yeah.
That would actually be even cooler. We destroyed ourselves into the past, and we just had to relive everything. That would be freak.
Ooh, that would be
Yo,
scary.
Morgan, patent that for a movie idea right now. Don't let anyone steal that.
Patent that. He's it right now.
It's not like it's already been done or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you
But
what.
it's different.
What if we have a wizard and he can grant wishes?
Wow.
And then there's this Tin Man.
In a Tin Man.
And there's this guy, but he's a lion.
He's a lot. No way, dude.
And then we also have this guy,
Mhm.
but he's a scarecrow. But he's a live scarecrow.
And what does he need? Like a heart or something like that?
Yeah.
Dude, no way.
No, the Tin Man actually.
Oh, the Tin Man needs the heart. Oh,
what
okay.
the fuck is the?
Tornado.
Did he need a? I don't know what he needs. The lion needed courage. I know that.
It's all right.
Dorothy needed some new shoes or something.
It's all right. You can think about this later when you're writing the idea down. You know what I mean?
Attaboy.
Something about a yellow brick road.
Following it or something like that.
And a bunch of midgets.
Yeah.
And we're gonna beat them up. Yeah. We're gonna film this movie, but behind the scenes, we're gonna absolutely abuse the midgets.
And you know what? we're gonna use this thing called, it's like a new thing they got. It's called asbestos, right? We're gonna use it like snow and like make it seem like it's snowing, so we don't have to actually get like chemicals or
Rail
anything
snow
like
or
that.
anything.
Asbestos is really safe.
It's okay. It can touch you. You can inhale it. It's not bad for you.
Please don't inhale or get
No, it's
anywhere
okay.
near. Don't listen to him. Don't get anywhere near asbestos.
That pink stuff that you see in your attic or your basement
Cotton
in the
candy.
walls.
Definitely
touch
cotton candy.
Touch it. It's okay.
And
It's
then
not get mad itchy or anything.
The itchy part's the magic. It's
Yeah.
the magic.
It feels good after a while.
It's not
and while you're
fiberglass.
at it, swallow some lead. Maybe
Yeah.
drink some pesticides in your cereal.
Go to Michigan. Go to Flint, Michigan, and drink some of their water.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Straight from the
unfiltered, of course. Yeah, straight from the tap. What was that one? That clip that Mr. Keevan he showed us. Yeah, we found it.
What?
It was the. Oh man, it was like this stupid song that went along with it when they were showing up.
About Flint,
It
Michigan?
was either Flint, Michigan, or Cleveland.
It was Cleveland.
It was Cleveland. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where like you can buy like a house cheaper than a VCR or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, Cleveland.
I just remember I don't remember the name of the movie, but it was like a fracking documentary, and they're like in this dude's house that has been he got paid to have his land fracked on or whatever, but like they messed up his water, so they walk over to the sink, and they're like, he turns on the water, and it's like not clear, it's like disgusting, gross.
Ooh.
I don't remember what color it was, but like clearly not water, and he takes a lighter to it, and he holds it next to it, and it starts. Like the water that's coming out of it, that's literally coming out of the faucet, still coming out of it, is on fire. Like, and then he turns it off and it goes out. Like, what? What is that? And then they're like, yeah, fracking's good. It's okay. Like, huh? How is that even okay? Yeah, I'm not kidding. That's a real clip. Go look it up. I don't remember the name of. I think the name of the documentary was called Gasland. And
Gasland.
this dude literally, like, they walk over and they're like, he's just like, look at the water. He turns it on and he takes a lighter and he goes, and the fucking lighter, like, the water catches on fire and then he, like, turns off the faucet and it just goes right out.
That'll be
Craziest
the secret
thing.
killer. They talk about natural disasters in the big sense, tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, whatever. But it's like that small stuff that's going to come to bite us in the butt. Like one day, we're going to have way too many turbines. People are just going to be vibrating in their homes until they die. One day, we're going to have way too much lead in the water. Everyone's just going to be drinking. One day, button turns from on to off, immediately dropping like flies. And then, I mean, like, what's another style? Like you said, fracking is a big one. You know, if we keep drilling for oil and, causing some disruption with like water tables and stuff like that, that could be huge, for depleting our safe water supply. People just have to live on Mountain Dew and Pepsi for the rest of their life. I don't want to do that.
I mean, we're already doing that in this county. But
it's all the small stuff that kills. It's not the big stuff. It's
I agree. I feel like we will ourselves be the end of our existence from poisoning the earth so much and our supply of food and
okay.
I don't
Great
know.
thought. Pause right there, Morgan, before you say any more words. This was the perfect question I was thinking in my head. We know that there's a possibility that war, natural disasters, or aliens can be the end of the earth. But the question I wanted to ask you guys, is there a possibility that the earth lives on? And I'm not talking about beyond, us dying. Obviously, the earth will still be here hundreds, probably thousands of years after we die. But I'm saying, do you think the earth can live on, even through all that, without ending? It'll just be a continual cycle like it has been ever since creation of man, we'll say.
Yeah. I mean, we would end the Earth one.
Yes, that I know. We'll definitely die. We'll all die. The earth will be fine. I think it would take a lot longer than that for it to, crumble in itself. But will it? That's what I want to hear from you.
I feel like it'll be a lot different than what we perceive it to be. Like literally millions of years ago, there were huge ass reptiles called, dinosaurs roaming around.
No doubt.
And like
Really?
we just happen to have all their skeletons just on display in museums, like our trophies. Remember this?
Check this out.
Look at this. This used to be back in the day. But like with natural disasters and like, humans also slowly poisoning the earth, I feel like it'll be us that causes the end because of the fact that we've heard, we have all these stories and articles and stuff from years past, but there's still stuff we don't know about that's happening, right now and in previous years, and like, companies dumping their chemicals for years and years into a river, like natural river, like next to a town, and it's like
Right.
that whole river is now, polluted or
cesspool,
like
yeah.
ruined. Yeah.
Yeah, spawning like these lizard creatures coming out with 4 legs, or I'm sorry, like 8 legs instead of 4.
Yeah.
Fish with legs. Too many legs.
But more specifically,
Poor
like,
fish.
we're all like all the stuff we know now, and like the stuff we eat and put in our bodies, like this as well. But
Man, there's
Different
already
shit that we-
microplastics in our food.
I
yeah,
was just saying.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
and in Prime,
In
well, maybe not.
I think so.
Sorry, I don't want to get your podcast here.
Nah, that's all right. We're fine.
Logan Prime's gonna.
Oh,
Logan
great.
Prime.
We're getting canceled
Paul's
by
gonna
Logan
come
Paul.
after
The last person
Yeah.
I wanted to be
He already
canceled
joined
by.
the chat.
Thanks, Morgan.
He's in the chat right now, actually.
No.
No, but I think I agree with them too. I think it's it's obvious. Like I'm sure, obviously, our timeline now will obviously be dead long before anything I think drastic happens. But
Yeah,
yes,
that's the
I think-
obvious part. 100%.
right. I think in general, we will be like our own end. I think that is the more likely thing to happen with all the smaller things that we do. Like, Morgan said, the microplastics, and, the dinosaurs being before us and all that. Our species is bound to die at some point, even if we don't, do it ourselves somehow. Like, something is bound to happen. There's always going to be a significant change in balance.
But does
Yeah.
our species end mean world ending?
No,
When I figured we
no.
talked about world ending to start, I figured it was the collapse of livable possibility on Earth. Oceans drained, mountains crumbled, and there's nowhere to make civilization, etc. Things have just gone barren. There's no forest. There's nothing that is anywhere close to lush, etc. That's kind of how I expected, our little Earth-ending thought to go. If it's a species end, that I can absolutely agree with. I think that's inevitable. Species ending, coming into a new. I mean, maybe there'll be like huge tadpoles as the next species that takes over the world. I have no idea. But
Yeah, just giant frogs, dude. Who knows?
the real question is, would the Earth be the thing that would inevitably end, though? In my
No.
opinion, I don't think it would. But I just wanted to hear what you guys thought.
I wouldn't say that's like world ending. I think world ending, like what we've been talking about, where the world just either or completely is like cut in half or something by like some giant Gundam that comes out and goes
Non-livable
know.
in the most basic
It's
sense.
cake.
dude, all I'm saying is Lockheed Martin made a Gundam. That's all I'm saying.
No,
Made a what?
Yeah.
Really?
A Gundam. They made like a robot, like, creature of sorts, or, robot.
right.
But they made like a giant robot.
A mech suit.
Yeah.
I gotta start investing then.
I think it was Lockheed Martin. People have been talking about it. So
Interesting.
be aware, we might have Gundams in the next like 10, 15, 20 years. And we might be fighting in outer space. So,
Space Force.
Space Force.
Nutty.
Space Wars.
That'd be cool to see wars fought in space instead of on the world surface, because then like we could solve our differences but also like not blow up our fucking home.
Yeah, but like, again, like my example, what if they have like a giant laser or something that they're shooting at someone, they miscalculate, it goes straight through Earth.
I mean, yeah, if
Yeah.
you're talking about huge Gundams that are fighting each other in space, I'm sure there will be a few lasers or a few, huge molten pile pieces of metal falling to the Earth's atmosphere and colliding with towns and cities.
Oh
And,
no.
but I don't think the world will inevitably. If you want to get technical, ethics and all that stuff, for a species to a species like the human race, I feel like yes, us being wiped out would be a quote world-ending event to us, but
Yeah, world-ending calamity.
right, like the Earth will live on, and more specifically, when you said like all the resources, becoming non-existent and water washing up and becoming non-existent and everything drying up and life will find a way because there's literally life that lives in caves and doesn't have eyes for their whole lives, and that's because evolution just was like, you live here in a deep underwater, like not even underwater, has air cave in the ocean, and it's just a weird fish with legs, and it's like,
Listen, man, all I got to bring up is the Chimera ants from Hunter x Hunter. For anyone who knows, they came out from the ground, and they can morph into any creature they want, basically. So that's all I'm saying. There's probably ant people underneath the Egyptian. What is it?
Great Pyramid.
Not the Great Pyramid. The desert out there. The massive desert.
The Sahara Desert.
Sahara?
The Sahara. Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't think of it right now off the top of my head.
Might
Supposedly
be the
there's an
Gobi.
ancient. What?
Might be the Gobi.
No, I think it's the Sahara. Whichever desert. There, it used to be like lush, completely lush. So now there's,
Oh.
the ancient alien people over on the History Channel are saying that there's an ancient ant civilization or ant people civilization living underneath the desert. So who knows? Who knows?
That guy's crazy. Look at his hair.
So if our species is wiped out, or we wipe out ourselves, like our
Yeah.
species completely dies off, like Morgan said, I'm sure there's something else that will either come out of that or is in hiding within the Earth's crust of some sort.
It
What do
would
you
be
think?
interesting. I think it's real. I mean, of course, I don't know what that would look like. I'm sure there's some new life form. I guess it doesn't have to be life. It could be, I don't know what you would call ant people. But it's definitely a real possibility. I mean, if dinosaurs existed, species are constantly evolving. I mean, I feel like I'm always finding new bugs and insects in and around just hanging out in the woods. Like the other day I saw a moth with like pinchers on it. I'm like, never seen that before.
Species.
So I mean, realistically, like within, like we were saying, our time frame of living, up through our little life's journey here, roughly 100 years or whatever that looks like. Things can drastically change from what that looks like in a 1,000-year time frame. And it's not too far off to say that there's a civilization under the Sahara Desert. I mean, there's been other strange things that have come out that people have kept from us. So it's not far off in the sense that it could be happening. I'm not just going to sit here and be like, yes, I'm going to convince you like it's real, and I'm going to go crazy until you're on the same crazy I am. But I definitely want stuff like that to like be real, exist, because if it does, then well, all the more fun to be had talking about it, thinking about it, studying it, and then well, here we are. We got to live through this, that, and the other, and it's like here we are to tell the tale. So
Yeah,
I
we
don't
got
know.
to we got to live
I
through
don't
the Chimera ant arc.
Yeah.
Amen. The ant people came out in our generation.
Yo, what up, slime?
Yeah, people.
That's how I met your aunt mother.
Listen, we've lived long enough to go through this whole transgender fun. We got to see people switch from man to woman, dude. You should be so thankful.
And back.
I'm an ant person now, Mom. I'm going to get my antennae on. and
Hey,
my-
we were close when we started trying to be dogs and cats and stuff. We were almost there, dude.
I'm going to get my thorax on.
Let me eat
Hold on,
wood.
I have to get my antennae. Start
Let me get
waving
the
them
rest
around
of
on
my
top of your head.
legs. Rest of my legs on me.
But can you imagine, like, hybrid ant human people?
I'm going to throw
I could
up.
imagine it.
Like
Do we
that,
live
you know,
in sandhills too, or what?
Yeah, probably.
Ew.
Why not?
They
Think
have
about
little
it.
They're-
chambers in their head.
It's sand houses, but they look like normal houses. They're just all underground, made out of sand.
Sick,
Have like 800 kids,
My God.
dude. Now we're talking.
You
8.5
don't have to
billion
take care
turned
of
to
them.
150
You're an
billion.
ant now. Go ahead.
800
Yeah, go.
kids, 800 kids,
Go.
800 kids.
Go build the house.
Go be an ant. Go be an ant or whatever. Idiot.
So do you think that would mean they would make bigger magnifying glasses to burn us, or what do you think?
Does that mean Titans just exist and they just have huge ass magnifying glasses and they're burning us?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's like the Anunnaki coming down. Just
It's the orbital laser from Helldivers.
Yeah. It's a perfect
Oh my
example.
gosh, what's that?
just a tiny.
Lighting fires and leaving death carcass of like fucking carcasses and bodies all over the place, mangled.
Orbital laser incoming.
Yeah, I don't like your tone, buddy.
500-kilogram bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, we play Helldivers.
A lot.
Two.
Who?
I'm probably gonna play tonight.
Ooh. Well, look at that.
Don't even look at me. I'm gonna fall asleep about 15 minutes after we're done here. So
It's only 6:30.
No, it's not.
It's 11:30, guys.
But all right, I think we've hit our time marker here. So thank you all so much for tuning in today. Hope you enjoyed Morgan and Lewis's banter with us. As per usual, check us out on YouTube. If you're not checking us out on YouTube, check us out on Spotify. Subscribe, comment, and leave a like. And we'll catch you guys on the flippy flop. Peace out.
Peace.